Hey everybody, we're in the basement of, I think this is Dirksen Senate office building, and lo and behold, we found the new office for Senator Schiff in the basement of the Dirksen. So we're gonna go see if we can get some comments from him. Go check it out. Now, certainly nothing against any of the staff that are working for him, but I'm sure that they're probably of the same persuasion as he is, being the lying congressman that he was. So here we are, and I think we should review just some of the history of what we know about him. Here, let's get over here so we can see his sign. Yeah, so here with my buddy Brandon, and you know, for me, one of the things that's really frustrating about Adam Schiff is the fact that he lies all the time, especially on TV, especially about President Trump. And so, what's something in his history that really bothers you?
I'm from California, actually, Los Angeles County. My dad was deputy sheriff there, and of course we're here as private citizens. And it's interesting to see the things that are focused on when an entire state is burning down. Not only is it burning down now, but it burns down nearly every year.
Yeah.
People lose their homes, their livelihoods, and it's not surprising coming from somebody that's willing to lie, to create
Incessantly, nonstop.
Yeah, to create a narrative to impeach a president that was completely and totally fabricated. But what's worse is that he was essentially given a promotion to the Senate.
Yeah.
Despite all of these things and the years of it, and not being able to trust what he says, he went on national television to spread those lies.
To spread lies, and he stood in the courts, essentially impeachment courts in Congress, and straight up lied about President Trump to promote the impeachment, among other things. But one of the things that bothers me is something that you talked about in terms of the graduation to the Senate, is the state of the voters in California.
Yeah.
Now, we know that there's a lot of conservatives there. We know there's a lot of people who love President Trump, love this country, and love liberty. But why on earth are they giving someone like Adam Schiff a promotion to the Senate?
Especially when you consider the alternatives. I mean, the fact that California is struggling the way it is under Gavin Newsom, the fact that the country is struggling the way it is with the last 4 years and the policies that we've seen, it's almost impossible to deduce why people would choose to continue those same trends and those same ideologies that put us in this place. I mean, it's no wonder why California is in dire straits right now, that these fires are destroying the homes and the livelihoods of people because of the policies that were put in place, policies that Adam Schiff supports.
And do you think that it's more that the electorate, the voters in California, are truly lost and woke and want to support liars?
No, because
or do you think it's that the conservatives who love this country, love liberty, and love integrity in our government simply aren't voting? What do you think?
I think there's a lot of the not voting part, but I think that a lot of people are misled, and they're allowing themselves to be misled by media that no longer cares for them. They no longer report the news. Instead, they report opinion. And that's the only way that Adam Schiff was even platformed, was because they were willing to report opinion and not do real journalism and not look for truth. And so that's exactly the issue that we've had and we continue to have. It's not just in the state of California, it's in the state of Washington. You look at the way that our governor there, the way he handled the COVID policies, the way he handled the lockdowns.
3 years of emergency powers.
3 years of emergency powers, and then what does the constituency do?
They reelect his buddy.
Yep. They put the same policies right in place while they complained about him for 4 years.
Yeah, so it's not that we don't have the power or the authority or the ability. It's that the people aren't showing up.
Yeah, we need to educate ourselves. We need to understand exactly what we're voting for, and we need to stop giving credence or any weight to what's reported on our televisions.
Yeah.
If you want to get real news and journalism, open a book.
Yeah.
Read some articles for yourself.
Yeah. Read
Look at the facts.
read really good journalism like Epic Times. Follow good podcasters. Tucker Carlson.
People that are willing to platform both sides are typically going to be more truthful than those that push a one-sided agenda. So, you get guys like Joe Rogan that get a whole bunch of crap, but he has both sides on. He had President Trump on.
He invited the cackler, but she refused.
Sean Ryan. You get guys like that. Sam Shoemate.
Timcast.
Yep.
Yeah, Tim Pool.
Guys that are willing to look at both sides and are willing to platform both sides, are willing to go have conversations with both sides. I mean, you look at Vivek Ramaswamy, he's out, he talks to people. It doesn't matter their persuasion. It doesn't matter red, blue, Democrat, Republican, independent, it doesn't matter. And those are the important parts. And until we...
And Matt Gaetz on OAN.
Yeah.
He's obviously continuing to use his voice in a strong way for America. So, we have to give Adam Schiff credit.
For what?
He's played
Better
the game.
Explain it well.
He's played the game, right? So I think most of us were living life, raising families, building businesses, doing stuff, thinking that the people in the government, the people that we were electing, were doing the job that needed to be done. Well, most of us were in la la land in regards to civics and all the things going on with that. But the truth was, they were playing the game to get their side some wins, and it's now our turn to stand up, to stand against the lies, to stand against the lunacy, and to fight back against these people who literally are using the government for their own benefit, for their own ideology that does not agree with the traditional American values or the traditional American view of what life is. And so if we have to give credit to a liar, a straight up pure, I would not say that if there wasn't just an overwhelming amount of evidence that Adam Schiff is a great American liar. He is dishonest. He does not tell the truth. He goes against what it means to be an American, and he hurts American liberty. So giving him credit for playing the game well, I'm saying we need to do better. We need to stand up. We need to start playing the game. We need to get strong people elected who love this country, love what it stands for, love liberty, and want to see that fought for.
And people need to turn off their TVs. Turn off your TV, go outside, talk to people.
Yeah, get to know people.
Stop having your opinion formed for you in some dark conference room.
Yeah, question everything. That's what I would say.
Absolutely, 100%, because that's the only way you're getting the right information.
Yeah. So who do you call for governor in California? Who do you think's a good pick?
Ghostbusters.
Just kidding.
I think Nicole Shanahan should run.
Yeah, she's 100%. Pretty awesome.
I think she is somebody that is willing to objectively look at what maybe her beliefs, where they led her, and where she needs to maybe make changes or consider different ideas and opinions. I mean, just the shift, no pun intended, in the
well, it wasn't as big of a shift because I don't know that she was a liar, but it's definitely a shift.
Yeah, she is, and she's put her own resources to work, which is, when somebody's willing to do that, you know that they care for the country.
Yeah.
And that they want to move forward. It's you got to watch out for the politicians that are getting big payouts from big PACs and different things that are moving their agenda forward, because then you know that there's a tether there somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I think Nicole Shanahan would be good. I think that
California needs it.
Yeah, what about Jack Hibbs?
It's my state.
Jack Hibbs would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
He was bold enough to come to Congress and pray to the Lord Jesus in the middle of Congress, even though that's not what they wanted. Some people. So that was pretty awesome. But the truth is, there's a lot of people that could be a great governor for
everywhere.
The beautiful and amazing state of California, where I was born. But it certainly is not people like Adam Schiff. We need actual leaders who don't just spew lies, on a daily basis.
We need people that make plans. I mean, Trump predicted it on the Joe Rogan show just, 3 months ago, when he talked about the water issue and how they've cut water off and they're pouring millions of gallons into the Pacific Ocean, and the forests are dry. They don't have the water to fight their fires, and now the reservoirs are empty. They're struggling.
Yeah, and why are they doing that?
But
Yeah.
the thing is, real people are facing problems
Yeah.
now. This isn't a CNN talking point. These
Yeah.
are real people that are losing their homes
Well,
and their livelihoods and their lives.
And it's interesting too, because what we're seeing is, you know, what the farmers of California have been experiencing
Yeah, that
for
too.
decades as a result of this woke leadership. You know, if you want to eat food, if you want to eat good food, you need water. And this woke ideology, let me just say this very clearly, and this is true for Washington, it's true for California, it's true for Oregon, wherever. There is no shortage of water, okay? What we have is an excess of regulation because of people like Adam Schiff. And that's the reason why LA is on fire. Now, the farmers have been paying the price for this for decades.
They're using a climate agenda.
Yeah,
They're using
to justify
all
their...
sorts of things to justify what they're doing. But that doesn't just destroy the food source, it destroys the agriculture industry in California, it destroys the economy in
transportation.
California.
You know, they want to remove the dams, which is...
It absolutely destroys it. You can't just take one piece out and the whole thing not topple. You remove that piece and the entire thing comes toppling down. I mean, it's you remove the water and there's fires. You remove the farmers and there's loss of revenue and income. There's poverty. There's lack of food.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't pull out a integral piece and not expect the entire thing to fall down.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing that just a few months ago, President Trump was on Joe Rogan saying, like, hey, this is going to happen.
Yep.
And, you know, here we are.
Love
and
him or hate him.
It's terrible. Yeah, it's terrible to see what's happening in LA. It's heartbreaking. We all have friends that are there. I mean, it's a massive event that will probably go down in history. It's to put it in perspective, it's 100x bigger than what happened in Hawaii just a few years ago. I mean, it's wildly bigger than that.
You know what's worse is we saw people in Hawaii, Maui, that are suffering.
Mm-hmm.
We saw people in North Carolina suffering. In fact, General Flynn was out there not too long ago. People are freezing, and they're begging for generators and different things to keep warm. Now California and the people and what they're going through, and where did we send all of our money?
Yeah, to illegals to house them in hotels throughout the country.
And to Ukraine?
Yeah, Ukraine. And
Ukraine.
FEMA is feckless. So one of the things we learned about FEMA, and of course FEMA is supposed to be helping with what's going on in LA. Of course they're not. They're supposed to be helping the people that are in North Carolina who literally through this winter are living in tents.
And it's a cold winter.
Yeah, it's very cold. And what's actually happening with FEMA is, what FEMA really should be doing is they should be going in and supporting the sheriffs and the counties to make sure that the people are safe. And then allowing emergency organizations, whether it's private individuals or nonprofits, to come in and be able to make sure that the people can sustain themselves and can recover and can rebuild. But instead, FEMA ends up standing in the way, and they use billions of our tax dollars to cut deals with businesses to provide things like chainsaws and generators and emergency, resources and things like that. And then they reject other companies who want to literally to offer freely resources for those people who are facing emergencies. They will not allow them to come in and offer those things because they have deals with other companies. Now, this just leads right into the whole 10% for the big guy and the whole waste, fraud, and abuse that we're facing, which the whole Doge committee with Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk are working on, leading to try to ferret that stuff out of our government. And so that's going to raise its head again right here in California as they're facing these disasters. And the people who vote for these woke elected, like Adam Schiff, who does nothing but lie, are going to be looking to their government to help them recover. And guess what? The government's going to be completely useless to them. In fact,
there's nothing left for them.
In fact, when the people who own those properties, and Adam Carolla did a good show on this just today, where what they're going to find out is they can't even rebuild those homes because the local jurisdiction regulations won't allow them to get a permit to be able to build where their home just got burned down. So that's what we're facing, and that's what people like Adam Schiff support.
The land, they'll be forced to.
Oh, the land is useless.
Yeah.
The land will be valueless if you cannot get a building permit. Here's another little quirk that bothers me is this whole movement. When my kids were growing up, your kids are younger still, but when my kids were growing up, I did not push them to go to college. So if you want to go to college and you need to get a license or a degree to do a career that requires some kind of degree, okay, fine. But if not, I'm going to teach you how to make money. I'm going to teach you about Jesus. I'm going to teach you about the meaning of life and how to live life and how to make money. That's what you need to do. And I love working with my hands. All my kids grew up working with their hands, building stuff. You and I both love working with our hands. Who is going to rebuild all of those thousands and thousands of homes? It's going to be people in the trades.
It's not just the homes; those are things. It's the lives as well. I mean, you look at what Adam Schiff's desire to pull down one man did. It ruined, for a while, General Flynn's life, his family's life, his son's life. All of the other individuals that went to prison as a result of all of these things, the J6ers. What about Peter Navarro? What about Bannon?
Steve
what
Bannon?
about I mean, people that were willing to do the right thing, and because they were willing to do the right thing, they were targeted.
And Adam Schiff consistently supported the wrong side every single time, every single vote.
He built the narrative.
Yeah.
He helped build the narrative to create the scenario that was required to completely and totally attempt to tear down the Flynn family, to tear down the Trump family, to tear down the foundation of our nation and what it's built on, our rights to a fair and free trial, our rights to proper representation. All of those things were put at odds and at risk.
I harken back several years, remember when the Russian collusion was going on, and Adam Schiff went on TV and boldly and openly said, we have the goods. We have the evidence. We have hard evidence that President Trump... and it was all lies.
The manipulated FISA warrants, so the information was manipulated to get those warrants, to spying on a campaign and on a sitting president. I mean, it's bonkers.
It's completely crazy. And so if there's anything that we can learn from this, it is that...
Educate yourself.
Educate yourself.
Read with your emotions.
Read the Constitution, read the Declaration of Independence, look at the Bill of Rights and ask yourself, why is it that half of the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to our Constitution, have to do with the treatment of prisoners?
Visit D.C.
Could it be,
talk to your representatives.
Could it be that our framers knew that tyrannical leaders like Adam Schiff try to imprison innocent people because that's what tyrants do, because they have no other option? Yeah, you gotta educate yourself, but you also have to remember, just like I said, going back to the beginning, we're gonna give credit for Schiff for using the system, right? He got elected to Congress. He lied his way through Congress. He gets rewarded. He gets a step up. He gets to graduate to the Senate.
But really,
let me just finish this, though.
It's our fault.
What I'm saying is, you have to realize that just because you see some elected on TV, just because you see some elected's name somewhere, doesn't mean that they're actually a good person. It doesn't mean that they care about your rights or your liberty. It doesn't mean that they're going to do the right thing. It doesn't mean that they're going to vote the right way. It doesn't mean that they're fighting for you. Representing you doesn't mean that they're going to support you and support the things that you believe in. The only way that happens is if you support actively people who you know that are good people, that love this country, that understand what liberty is, and you help them get elected. That could be through giving them donations to their campaign. It could be through talking to your friends who you think would be great at representing them and encouraging them to run for office. It could be actively getting involved. It could be knocking doors, making phone calls. It could be doing what we're doing this week, coming to Congress and talking to our congressmen and learning about how this process works. There's lots of things that you could do.
Also important, don't cut off people that have different ideologies than you.
Yeah, learn
have
from
open conversations.
I actually sat next to a gal on my flight out here who's an attorney. She's a Democrat. She voted for Trump this time, and we probably disagree on some of the big issues that have always been there, but she realizes that the woke agenda that has been foisted upon us over these last few years, all that stuff, she's like, this is not good for America. It's not good for my life. It's not good for my clients' lives. It's not good for any. And she's like, I voted for Trump. So there you go.
Private citizens.
Yeah, action from the basement, Adam Schiff's office in the Senate.